On today's episode of Homeworthy, our moving series continues, and we're meeting up with interior designer Clare Fleming Peters, who is helping us to bring our new space to life. From window treatments to furniture upholstery, there's a lot to explore. This is incredible.
Isn't it beautiful?
We'll give you an insider look at New York City's iconic D&D building, where we'll browse fabrics, trims, and tassels.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Frogs!
And with so many beautiful options, Claire will guide us through the best choices for our new apartment. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi everyone, welcome to Midtown Manhattan. On today's episode of Homeworthy, we are going to the D&D building, where we're going to meet Clare Fleming Peters. She's the incredible interior designer we're going to be working with on this apartment project, and we're going to be visiting a few beautiful showrooms today. So I can't wait for you to meet her. Hi, Clare! I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you. Finally doing this.
I know. I'm excited.
Here we are. Okay, so this is the Decorators and Designers Building.
D&D.
D&D, the famous D&D. There's 18 floors of showrooms. Don't get scared.
Okay, I am.
Okay, I brought all of our stuff. I brought our floor plan.
Perfect.
Some
So we
of the
can look at all of it.
pictures, Some of the colors. That. So let's go.
All right, let's get out of this traffic.
Okay.
So this must be like your home away from home.
It is my stomping ground. It's where I first started with Bunny Williams. I remember doing a beach house for her and coming and just starting on the 18th floor and just running down the stairs and gathering as much fabric as I could.
So that's kind of what we're going to do today.
That's what we're going to do today. I hope we have so much fun.
All right, well, I hope we've got some good walking shoes on for 18 floors of fabric.
I think we do.
With our floor plans and measurements in hand, Claire and I are going to visit some of the showrooms like Kravet, Brunschwig and Scalamandre. But first, we get organized and go over our plan for the apartment.
So I am so lucky, and Claire is going to be our interior designer on this project. And I have to brag for just a second and say that you worked with Bunny Williams and Timothy Whalen for all of these years, and now you have your own studio and you're doing an amazing job, and I have snagged her for this project, and you are going to help guide us and navigate us through seas of fabric and prints and wall coverings and help us create this beautiful oasis of an apartment for us. So I'm thrilled.
I love your apartment and I love you, and I'm so excited to help.
Well, should we start with this box?
Let's start at the beginning.
What's the box?
Okay, so the box is something that clients can walk around with and have their box that has, so we're going to begin, there's nothing in it. So this is progress, okay? But what we do have is in progress shots of a floor plan that I've created with my friend Charlotte, who's a fabulous architect.
Yeah, we want to give Charlotte a big plug.
We want to give Charlotte a big plug.
So she
is
designed
a joy
this.
to work with. So Paul and I did all of the measurements. Then we sent them to Charlotte with videos of the apartment.
right.
And so this is in progress, and we can begin. So because today we want to start doing fabrics, we are going to think about, here is the apartment. I'm going to show you like a couple of beauty shots. This is a floor plan. These are elevations. So we can drop in, the idea is to eventually be able to drop in ideas for window treatments and be able to look at them before you've paid for them, before you've built them.
So you kind of do all of this work up front, and then it becomes easier.
It's such a tool to be able to use. This is called a section. It's like you're cutting through the center of the apartment, and this shows the conservatory and the winding stair, the kitchen.
And then what's that?
And that's the living room.
Oh, I'm like, tell me what my own apartment looks like.
So we can see things in 3D. For example, we just dropped in a farm table just to see how much room we had. This is called SketchUp. This is what the program is, and you can manipulate the drawings when you're working with Charlotte and see what it looks like in all different directions.
That's amazing.
So
and this is so
fun?
cool because this looks exactly like it looks in person.
She's amazing, and she's a joy to work with. And what we need to do is determine we don't have the floor plan yet because we need to get dimensions for the items, but Allison and I both know what we need to cover.
Right. something that I'm doing is recovering a lot of furniture.
Yes.
I've gotten a lot of things from my parents who
Yes.
have it sitting in storage, and they're
Yes,
so
it's
nice.
such a great way
and they
of
want it to
going.
have a second life. So we're getting a couch, 2 club chairs. I already have 2 slipper chairs. I have 2 little children's
I love those
chairs
chairs.
in James and Grace's room. I know
Yes.
you do. And really layer the apartment with texture and color and pattern. So given that, I am just going to defer to you on how you think we should go about finding a hero fabric or figuring out what goes with what and filling this
The
box with fabrics.
Yes, so there will be paint colors, there'll be wall covering samples, there will be little pieces of fabric and trim by room in plastic sleeves, labeled.
Just to give everybody a sense of this floor plan.
Yes.
Here is where you enter the apartment.
That's the entry gallery, we're calling
Yes,
it.
this is the entry gallery, so we're thinking maybe like some kind of a grass cloth here. This is the kids' room, thinking some kind of a peel and stick for them, and beautiful carpet and
And beautiful window treatment.
beautiful window treatments
Yes.
for them. And then this is a little bit of a tricky room. If you can see, this looks like a Jenga piece. I mean, it's like, what is going on here? So this is going to be kind of like guest room, office, den, etc. But we love this living area. There's a fireplace right here. Now our couch is here, so we're thinking maybe club chairs, slipper chairs, if it works.
No,
I know
that
that
would-
you'll draw
yeah.
it to scale, and then, but these 5 windows, I'm thinking like amazing window treatments would be great.
I think it would be beautiful because the ceiling height is so high,
Yeah,
which
that's
you can't
true.
tell from, it's difficult to tell even from this section, but it is. It's beautifully high and it's a coved ceiling, which is lovely.
So then we've kind of got this like family room / kitchen.
And this is an actual farm table that Allison sent me a beautiful website full of French furniture that directly comes from France. And so that was the table I liked the best, and I just dropped
Good.
it in. So it's an actual, the chairs do not exist, but the table does.
And then you take this spiral staircase upstairs. This is what's pretty cool about the apartment and what sold Michael, my husband, on wanting to move forward with it, is because he likes outdoor space. So you take the staircase up, and then you get to this conservatory, indoor greenhouse type situation that is really going to be a place for Homeworthy gatherings, for book parties, for cocktail parties, for trunk shows, that we'll use for hosting hosting Homeworthy events, and we're super excited about that. So with that, we should start looking for some fabrics.
I think we should start looking for some fabrics. Here we
Claire,
go.
I am so excited.
Good.
What is our kind of first stop today?
So the first place we're going is Kravet,
Okay.
which is an incredible fabric house that's been around since 1918.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's still family owned, 5 generations, and they have been, over the years, they've been acquiring incredible other fabric houses like Brunschwig and Jofa, but today, we're just gonna, at this moment, we're just gonna look at
Perfect,
Kravet.
so we're starting
everything
here.
that they have, yes. So the first thing you do, I'm old school, I write it down still.
You start with the paper.
You start with the paper, here's your pencil, or my
Okay,
pencil, I'll
okay.
write down.
I don't know what I'm
you
doing.
just
You
commune
write it
with
down.
the beauty. And then Kravet has started, I think they're the first showroom to do this. They have a scanner where you can just scan, if you like a fabric, you just scan it and then it goes directly to the sample department. They pull it for you and you walk over at the end, pick up your bag and off you go.
So you're saying that when we leave here, there'll be like a little bag of samples that
Yes.
we can take back to the house
Yes.
and like put on the chair.
And scheme everything there
Okay.
with
Okay.
the light and everything correct.
That sounds amazing. This is incredible.
Isn't it beautiful? Tell me again what your vision is for your apartment.
So it's obviously a family apartment. We have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So I want it to be beautiful, but I also want it to be a place where I'm not constantly saying, don't touch that,
Yeah.
get your hands off that, or walking around with like a cleaner, because
Yes.
we can't live comfortably in the
Right.
home. So I am particularly drawn to, I love stripes, I like pattern, I like a little bit of extra here and there, but you know, I think that different rooms can have different personalities.
Right, it's a story. It's a color story.
So I want everything to be cohesive in the apartment, but like, I would love the idea of a living room having a ton of color. One of my questions before we get shopping is, like, are there any rules that we should be following?
Generally, the rules are you find something that you're madly in love with, and then you build around it.
Okay.
And you want a mix of different textures and different, but you can also have all the same thing if that's what you really want, and that can be an incredible room. So what I'm hoping for today is, because I think you're so talented, is to really see what you respond to and what you love. I mean, I have an idea, but I really want to see you choose something that you're crazy about. And there's some new things here that I think we should start with what's new.
Okay.
There are some new fabric houses like Jan showers that I think are beautiful and could fit
Love
with your
her.
color palette.
Okay.
And then we'll go across the way and we'll look at some velvets and chenilles and some hardier fabrics that the kids, even though it's a velvet, the kids can't hurt.
All right, if
Trust
you say
me.
so. All right,
Let's get
so
shopping.
we're gonna take this little thing and
Yes.
get shopping.
Claire took me to the bays filled with the newest fabrics.
Wow.
This one I thought you might respond to. Are you really?
I do. I mean,
Yeah.
I love green, Homeworthy green.
That's true, you do.
I do. I love floral. I love botanical. This is really pretty.
Isn't it?
Maybe not for New York City.
Maybe
Ooh.
when we do your Palm Beach estate. Then we'll-
Dream big.
Yeah, it's
dream big.
Dream big.
Where would you see something like that? Like for a big pattern like this, do you see it on a couch? Do you see it on like an accent chair? How do you like decide where
things
fabric
go?
goes?
I think I see that particular one on a sofa because it's a large pattern, so it could get lost. You wouldn't see it's called a repeat. So when you have a pattern, then it's going to repeat and repeat from the weaver, so if that makes any sense. So you want it to show off, and you would want it on a larger piece. You could even do it on curtains, but I think that might be a little bit of a larger print. For a curtain, I might go a little bit of a smaller scale.
This is all beautiful, and
really
it's kind of
pretty.
arranged by color scheme.
Yes, so sometimes you'll see that there might be a new fabric here that you're going to see it in different colorways. And a colorway just means
so like
you're gonna
this
see
will exist in another color.
in green and in pink
Oh,
and in
pretty.
bone, and so that's why this is so valuable, is you see it all in one place.
I want the living room to be full of life and pattern and color and texture, but I think when we're thinking about the bedroom,
Quieter.
a little quieter, you know, a place where I can just, my life is so frenetic and busy that I need a place that's calm. So like I like the
beautiful.
ideas of maybe, watch I end up going with a big print for the bedroom and I'm just lying to you right now. But I sort of have this idea of something like calm.
You know my sitting room at home where it feels, what I wanted it to feel like was the inside of a hat box.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I think it does. So what you could do, I mean, I don't know how far you would want to go, but you can back this, paperback it, and make it wallpaper.
Oh, wow.
And you could have it be your bed hangings.
Now,
and your coverlet, and it could be kind
so
of
it's
fantastic.
like you can basically do multiple things with a piece of fabric.
You
So
really
you can paperback something and you can put it on the wall.
Yes.
You like if I wanted to use this on a slipper chair and but say it's a high trafficked area. I mean, maybe you wouldn't recommend that because it's cream.
Only because it's so creamy, but if you did want to have a special treat in a chair like that, I think this is strong enough for upholstery weight, but you could also back anything that's upholstery weight.
And what does backing mean?
There's a whole raft of ideas. That there's some of it is rubber and bendable and it moves, and other is very tight. It depends on the fabric.
But the idea is it makes the fabric strengthens it.
Yes.
So like if you're constantly sitting, it doesn't lose its shape or form.
Right.
Well, look at what I'm learning today,
And your dog's
everybody.
paws don't go through it like that happened to me. I got this beautiful menswear tweed that I thought was so gorgeous for a family room sofa, and like a year and a half later, our dog's claws went right through it because I didn't know to back it. So learn the hard way.
You live and learn.
That's why you hire a designer.
Then we used Kravet's scanner to save the patterns we loved. Then Claire and I headed around the corner to look at couch fabric options.
So look.
I heard that velvet is good for a couch.
It is. Believe it or
Somebody
not.
said that to me.
Yeah, and I agree. And people
at
sometimes
this.
are scared of it, but
Mustard.
look at that. And
I mean, it's
that
probably
almost
not.
feels like a mohair.
Oh, maybe somebody said mohair
Mohair.
was really good for kids.
Oh, for kids,
So-
really? Okay, well, great. We want James and Grace happy. So yeah, so I would just I'm just gonna.
So this
let
is like
you-
every color of velvet under the sun?
Yes, and the blues are over there, and the chenille. Do you know what a chenille is?
No, I don't actually.
It's a little bit more of a ridged fabric, so it's more textural, and they wear super well like a mohair. So that's a choice. Bunny used to always put chenilles on sofas. Always,
really?
always, yeah, because just feel how tough that is. But it still has a nice hand.
Right.
But you don't have to back it. You don't have to mess with it. So that's just a thought. And I know you're open to kind of white sofas, which is kind of wonderful of you.
Ish.
Or white rugs.
Except like James yesterday had like chocolate all over his mouth, and I mean it's just like a nightmare waiting to happen. We're at Performance Fabric. Just from the name, I'm guessing you're taking me here because of our 3-year-old and our 1-year-old.
I am. Yes, we love James and Grace. These are stain resistant, cleanable, and durable. And the hand really is lovely now.
And it's just something that might have like a longer life for us because we have
Exactly.
kids.
And if you have a spill, it just, it can wipe up much more easily.
So it could also be for my husband, Michael, who might spill a coffee every once in a while or some ice cream.
It happens to all of us.
So these are really pretty. So you can
Aren't they
even get
pretty?
something like in a neutral pattern that
Yes.
has, I mean, this just seems like the way to go.
Right. And I mean, look, like it's a beautiful boucle. It really feels nice,
Yeah.
which never existed 20 years ago.
It's amazing, like
Yeah,
the
it
advancements.
really
that have
comes.
been
The
made in this
advances
stuff.
are, and Kravet's on the cutting edge, honestly, with all of that.
This is pretty. I love a little.
You do.
Yeah,
I
what
love
would
it
you
too.
call this? Like a little, I don't
Feels
know.
like a little cheetah-ish, doesn't it?
Ooh, yeah. A neutral.
A neutral.
Animal print is neutral, as the term goes. Claire is so generous, and she's letting me come with her to these studios because this is not really how you work. Usually Claire does all the work for the client and like presents a number of schemes, but I'm so nosy and into this that she's letting me come here today. I don't know, just to like figure out what I'm drawn to and and
no,
what I like.
I'm really genuinely, I'm so glad we're doing
Yeah,
this.
I'm probably making her life a lot harder.
Sometimes it's hard to mix fabrics, but you always want a through line. So there's a color or there's a texture, but generally you want to, or you could do a whole room of stripes, but they have to be all different different
sizes.
widths and sizes. And Robert Keim is incredible at that. Maybe we'll go to his showroom one day because it's like little stripes and thick stripes, and the room is amazing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Since I'm tagging along with Claire today, which can sometimes be a rarity for designers and clients, I had a lot of questions, starting with pattern selection.
I don't know how you describe chintz. Like, what is chintz?
It's generally a cotton fabric with just a big flower print, but some are documents that go back 200 years. That's what.
Wow.
Yeah. So Kravet represents Brunschwig, and they have a lot of historic fabrics. Some of them have ended up in the White House. I mean, there's a story after story for every single print.
And guess where we're going now? Brunschwig
Brunschwig
and
and
Fee. All right, so now we have to go to the second floor. We're on 12. We're going to go down to 2.
Before heading to Brunschwig et Fils, Claire and I stopped by the sample desk to collect the amazing fabrics we found.
Okay, so here we are at Brunschwig.
Ooh, I love these lampshades.
Aren't those great? They're
Pookie
now they're
and
repping Pookie and JP and Baker, and that's Kit Kat from number 16 in London.
Oh, your fave.
My fave. And look at this. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh my gosh. So this is Nick Mealy. I have to plug. We featured
No, please do.
His family home in Newport, Rhode Island, and I just got a little glimpse of his home in Palm Beach, and it's all like the entire house is Brunschwig and Fee.
Isn't that would be your dream scenario? And your English sofa.
I know, look how comfy this is.
Yes.
What do you love about Brunschwig?
I love the historical element of it. And this, as I understand it, this print collection principally everyone has some type of historical note about the origin.
Okay, so what's this?
So this is Talavera. It originates from a late 18th, early 19th century document, and a document is a historical fabric. It's surprisingly chic. It could be like an antique kimono. It could be anything.
It was introduced as wallpaper in 1988.
But it originally dates back to 1812, and it was discovered under multiple layers of wallpapers during the renovation of the historic house. Is that unbelievable?
I love history. I love things that are like old and have a story attached to it. Like, look how beautiful this is.
Isn't that beautiful?
People are going to recognize this famous fabric,
famous,
Les Touches.
Right.
And I'll just read you briefly the history. First introduced in 1965, this stylized animal skin pattern was inspired by a post-World War II folio of photographs. This Brunschwig and Fee classic is currently offered as a screen cotton printed fabric and wallpaper. There's 18 different colorways. Oh, and look.
And there they all are.
Here they are. Oh my gosh. So I've seen this like on beautiful lampshades, on chairs, I mean, really everywhere. But this is like a nice, I don't know, I could see that as an accent chair maybe in the living room.
Absolutely, you could.
You know, because you bring in a print, but then you bring in...
See?
I'm learning.
It's coming to you.
Okay, so what are you drawn to here? This is beautiful. I love pink.
I do
I
too.
actually really do
love pink. I do too. It's my favorite color.
I
It's
like
a vibrant, beautiful pink.
This is really pretty. This is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
You know what I could see this as? Okay, so I'm desperate to have a little vanity.
Yes, that would be beautiful.
I really want a vanity in the bedroom where like I have the teeniest bathroom you've ever seen. It's such a New York City bathroom. There's like no space for two people. You're like elbowing out of the way. So I thought I could do a little vanity in the bedroom where I could sit and like have my perfume and like my makeup.
And just have your moment.
And like have my moment to myself.
Yes.
And I wanted to skirt. I don't have this table yet.
I
I'm
haven't
looking
seen you
for it.
respond to anything.
But this is pretty.
Like you've responded to this. You want things to relate, so maybe this has a silk tassel on it.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? And maybe this has a cotton back on a pillow.
Oh.
So it kind of goes back, you know, it kind of
So
goes
you
back
make it
and
as a
forth.
pillow.
Right.
I see.
Next up, it's all about trim. Perfect for slipper chairs, window treatments, skirted tables, and so much more. Claire showed me real-life examples from pom-poms on pillows to my favorite, fringe on a sofa.
Okay, so what's so great about the Brunschwig showroom is that they use examples of the trim that we just were looking at, Allison. So for example, if you wanted to do a slipper chair, this is called cord.
Oh, so
And you work with the upholsterer to show them exactly where you want it. These are fun pom-poms.
Oh,
You
these
can do on anything. It
cute.
can be a bottom of a skirt. It can be on a pillow. It could be, people are so much more creative now.
but it adds such
It
personality.
adds so much joy and personality. And I particularly love bullion fringe on the
that's what that's
bottom of
called?
the sofa.
I love that.
Isn't that pretty?
Yes.
I know. That could be real. And it kind of weights it in a great way, too. It just adds so much personality. And then here's a tassel with your green and blue and cream, which is so pretty.
So
That's
it's like
a
once you
chenille.
pick the fabric, you're not done. You have
You're not done.
accoutrement
You have
to
so many
add.
more options.
But the fun didn't stop there. Claire took me to the wall coverings and we immediately found one that stopped me in my tracks.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Frogs!
So, can I tell?
yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So Allison's family nickname is Froggy because she's so good at just enjoying her life and running from one wonderful
thing to-
adventure to the next.
Michael gave this
So-
whole speech at our wedding about how like he had nicknamed me Froggy because I was constantly just like hopping from one event to an event to an event to a work thing to it, like just not stopping. And this is so fun. This is
Isn't that
vintage.
adorable?
I love this.
I love that.
While looking through wallpaper options, Claire showed me that some wall coverings have matching fabrics, making it easy to weave patterns throughout a space. Naturally, we couldn't help but gush over these stunning historical stripes.
So these stripes are Madeleine Castaing, and Madeleine Castaing is an iconic Parisian decorator who used to, on the left bank, had this little office, and she would stay up until the wee hours of the morning, and everybody would just look and see her little light on.
Oh, sweet.
She was famous. She always used blue lampshades everywhere. And
Why,
she was,
I
I don't
wonder?
know, but her rooms are iconic and incredible, and this is her stripe.
But let's do the last stop quickly. Where are
Okay,
we going?
So now we're going to go to Lee Jofa. So we're going to go this way.
Well, we're going to go to Lee Jofa Fabric.
We're going to go to, yes, but on the way, look at this lighting. I mean, it's one stop once again. Furniture.
Oh, so you've got
lamps.
silk.
These are silks. This is a beautiful new
Velvets.
room
Ooh.
that has just been done with new fabric. So this is all, see, and here is the fabric on the walls
Right.
that I was talking about earlier.
Well, and I love these little moments where they have kind of, it feels like a room.
Right.
Because,
Right, because it makes you feel like,
well, you see it in person. You see how it's actually done.
and how it makes you feel. Before we go, we're going to go over there, but just so you know for next time, there's damasks and shears and everything's labeled and marked. It's very classic. Lee Jofa is 200 years old now.
Really?
And yeah, and originated in England, I believe. And it's very classic, friendly, happy, and very relevant still. All the new designers, young designers are using their things. So I think,
And this is it. This is the
and
new
this
collection.
Is it. This is where we are.
So Lee Jofa Modern is probably not for me, but
Probably
I do
not.
love this kind of thing.
That's kind of fantastic.
Which one? Which one are you drawn to?
This one.
Oh,
It kind of reminds me of that, right?
Yeah.
The wall covering that we just saw.
You know what this reminds me of?
It's really
This reminds
pretty.
me of like a beautiful like paint
Yes.
that you like run a toothpick through.
Yes.
And then it like all kind of
Uh-huh.
becomes like that.
Yeah,
All right, so
it's
show me what
beautiful.
you like.
Oh my
I know this is
gosh.
supposed to be what I like, but I want to see
Oh,
what
you
you
want
like
to see
too.
what I? Well, I'm not as much of a print person, if I'm being honest.
Okay, well you have to lean into prints for me.
I'm going to do it with you, though. I'm going to do it with you. They're beautiful. I think that's beautiful. I love that coloration. I really
Yeah,
do.
right.
Do you know
I
the
agree.
apricot
Tree
and
of
the
life
purple
is what it's
and
called.
yes, that could be incredible in a guest room,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh,
On everything.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I'm also really excited about Kit Kemp's new collection, which is across the way. We'll go back to that in a minute.
This is so
I
whimsical.
love the elephants.
I love animals.
I do.
too.
You do? Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
do.
You do. I think that's fantastic. Look at that. Really, really beautiful. And there's another version of Ecot, all different colorways. Isn't this pretty? I think if I could have a favorite, this would be mine. And this is part of the 200-year anniversary collection from Lee Jofa. This is a hand block, and the way you can tell, so it's hand. It takes forever and it's expensive, but you want to use it maybe for touches. And the way you can tell it's hand blocked is that you can see on the back the beautiful color there.
So they literally
as
dip
well.
a block into color and then
Yes,
place
they have it
onto
on
the
long
fabric.
tables and then they block
Wow.
and block and block. Yeah, it's so
That's
beautiful.
such incredible
and I think
craftsmanship.
that this was just brought back with these two new different colorways. So
love
that
that.
it's very relevant
Yeah,
and fresh
sure,
and bright. And
sure.
I just think I would do a whole room around that, even though it's too expensive. So, Allison, we've been talking about scheming all day, and I just thought this was such a great example of all these different things and how beautifully they work together.
So this is
This
GP
is
and J Baker.
GP and J Baker, Kit Kemp, the hotelier designer, she and her husband and wife team. Number 16, and there's a new one, I think, down on Warren Street here in New York.
Ooh.
But anyway, remember we were talking about stripes.
Yes.
Look at how many stripes there are. So there's the big, bold one on the sofa. There's the big, bold pattern on the chairs. There's a more medium-sized pattern on this chair. There's the big
Oh my
pattern
gosh,
on
look
the
at the
walls.
bed.
Look at the bed. There's a stripe and a stripe and a stripe, and it's a genius masterclass in
So where do you think you start?
Look at the trim.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I always come back to you start with what you love the most.
Okay.
You just do. And then from there, you just build smaller prints in, or even a more medium-sized print. And then even look at this. And the way she gets away with it is the blues all relate.
I am like in awe and totally overloaded.
Yes, I am too, actually.
But this is beautiful. And then look at the light fixture.
And look at she always has one playful thing, and then she always has a silhouette
So this
in the
is
corner.
really pretty too.
Isn't
I don't
it beautiful?
know exactly what that is, but I love the framing.
And the framing, even though it's all different, there's that blue through line, and that's how she does it.
So we've got some homework to do.
Claire and I head to our last stop of the day, Scalamandre, where we had the pleasure of meeting Lorraine Lang, who gave us a deep dive into the brand's most iconic fabrics and patterns, from their legendary tiger print to timeless chinoiserie. Lorraine walked us through the history and craftsmanship behind each design.
Oh, and look who's here.
Hello, welcome to Scalamandre.
Hello,
I'm so glad you
Lorraine.
could come.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Claire.
It's so good to see you.
It's fun for you to come today.
Now, we are very excited to shop, but before we do that, this Scalamandre is so famous. We want you to just give us nuggets of the history.
Well, it is a great history. It's really an American history. So Franco Scalamandre, who came from Italy in 1923, he was born in Caserta, which is famous for its silk weaving. It was the royal factory. There was a palace there and the royal factory of silk weaving. So he really grew up in this entire world, but he fled Mussolini in 1923 and he came to the States. Here he bought a loom, developed the beginning of weaving in Paterson, New Jersey, US mills, and then in 1929, he really came to fruition every dream of his life. He met his wife. He married in 1929. They bought the factory, which was in Long Island City. The building is still there today.
Wow, it is?
The building is still there today. Yes, it is. And if you ever watch Goodfellas, you'll see the factory in the background of the movie. It's there. So the factory continued for many, many years. I had worked there. It was a great place to work, my favorite ever. And we made fabric, wallpaper, trimmings, everything handmade. And I just say it was a magical place. And it was. It was a magical place. So that was all the beginning, long years working with the family. Franco's daughter, Adriana Bitter, she inherited the company and she really grew the company. And then next generation, so it's a three-generation family. Again, a great American story. They sold it to the Renzo family, who own it today. And so now I'm working with the Renzos, who are great people to work with. And then we merged with Star Carpet, again, another famous house. So today we are a very large company. We produce still fabric, wall coverings, trims, furniture, a big gamut.
The showroom is so intimate, though.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's just like you walk in and you feel just inundated with warmth and pattern and color and texture and really historical prints.
Yes. Well, can I show you a few of my favorites?
We'd love that.
Okay, good. And they're right here.
Help us narrow it down, Lorraine. There's too much to choose from.
Well, I know you want to do your own shopping, so let's see if we can find some things for you here too.
Well, what a treat to hear from you. Sort of like these are some of the fan favorites.
Fan favorite. I'll be the docent. One of the oldest patterns in our collection is this, Print Edwin's Covey. And it was a hit from the very beginning. It's really charming with the partridges, with their families, a little quail really running around. And it's been in the collection over 30 years. We have it in wallpaper. And sneak peek, I'm making it into cashmere scarves.
Oh my gosh,
This fall season.
Lorraine.
Yes, yes.
Will they be ready by Christmas?
Absolutely. Yep, the silk ones are ready now. We're doing the silk ones too.
This is beautiful.
Yeah. It's a lovely, lovely print, Orienteau. taken from a chinoiserie hand painted design. Again, it's been in the collection quite a number of years. I wanted to talk here about Pondicherry. Pondicherry is a pattern that comes from a palampour. A palampour originates in India as bed hangings, and this is the type of Jacobean type of design. And originally it had all these little small swirls in it and details in it. We printed it on cotton. Belize. Belize is a printed design. It's printed in France. And I'm bringing this forward because not only is it a very popular design for us, but it's also going to be the silk scarf.
Another silk scarf.
Cashmere and silk.
I love your excitement about this, Lorraine.
Oh, oh yes, I'll be buying everyone. So, and then I also wanted to come here and show you our very special block prints. So,
what's a block print for people who
these
don't
are
know?
literally heavy wooden blocks that are carved, hand carved, and each block carries a shape and a color. So it could take, which it does in this, over 50 blocks to create a pattern. And each one is inked and pressed into the fabric. And it has to fit. All these little designs have to fit together to make the pattern. And so this is a really intensive and hand laborious technique to use. And truly only special houses will have these. In the 1960s, Iris Apfel, again, one of the originators of our combined company, loved to travel to Italy and in particular to Venice. So in Venice, there was a very special hand weaver. Now to make silk velvet, if I might just say, you will only weave this much a day. So that's why these fabrics are very expensive, because they are hand woven. Iris brought these back, made the pattern famous. Scalamandre, under Franco Scalamandre, also brought that pattern to the US. So each of our houses had this same pattern. Iris had the hand woven, and then Franco brought it over to be loom woven.
So it's more accessible to the mass public who can't afford the hand
Exactly. But it does have the same 100%
But
silk
it feels
pile.
it's so luxurious.
Yeah, it's great.
And this is such a fun, like, pop of.
It's a great pattern.
Print.
It's contemporary, it's transitional, it's traditional, it's in every home. And it's just iconic. People love to have it. So then, for fun, we added colors.
Oh my gosh. You've got to be brave to use this.
Not really. Not really.
This is
maybe this one.
Maybe the green. What color is it? Do they call it something?
Yes, it is.
I want to know what this color green
We just
is.
call it greens and black.
It's great.
Basic neighboring. So we have it in the green and also in the silver, but also in the blue.
That's
And the blue is one of
fun.
the best,
Is it?
most popular colors after the original golds.
What do you find that most people do this? Like a small thing?
Yes, it's usually a smaller piece. It's an accent statement piece in a room,
Yeah.
you know, or a lot of pillows.
Sure.
Then it's back to shopping.
Look how cute this is.
That's cute. To me, that's kitchen-y.
Yeah.
Is that anything for the kitchen?
Could be. Royal peony.
Okay. Number,
Could be the island skirt,
it could be the island skirt.
maybe.
1, 6.
That is sweet.
1. That's really fun and happy.
Yeah, I like the idea of a happy kitchen.
I think that's where you can really cute it up.
Yeah, maybe
In
I
the
would cook.
kitchen?
Maybe I would cook more.
Maybe. Okay, let's keep going. Do you want to see more prints? These look like they're, well, of course, there's the iconic
famous
zebras.
The zebra. This is really famous. You've got to get a lot of footage of this guy. Claire has a motto for how we're decorating here.
If you see something, say something.
All right, so she's leading the charge here.
I'm leading the charge. Oh, here's your stripe again.
Oh, I know. I just feel like it could be a great window treatment.
It could.
It might be
It
too
could.
feminine for Michael. And what do you think? Chocolate hands coming over? with the Nutella on them from the 3-year-old.
Because they're going to be right there.
This is another fabric that I can honestly imagine is like a big skirt.
I could
like
too. That would be
waist high,
fabulous.
with a with like a white button down with the collar popped and like I don't know, great pair of heels. I don't know what it is. It just like something like dramatic.
I love it.
I would love to do wallpaper in the apartment, but I don't know that it makes a lot of sense because we're renting.
Yep, I understand. It's expensive and it's expensive to install.
But so I might do some peel and stick, like in the kids' room.
Perfect.
But how is there a way that I could incorporate regular wallpaper into the apartment without, I don't know, putting it on the wall?
Yes, you could take a beautiful panel.
What does that mean?
And you could, some wallpapers come in panels of like a beautiful scene where it's Tree of Life, for example, and it's
Okay.
just the Tree of Life. And you could just purchase that amount and have it framed and hung. Say like
that's
in
really
your
pretty.
entry gallery.
Okay.
It could be a beautiful introduction
good
to the
idea.
apartment.
That's
And then
a
you
really
take
good
it with
idea.
you.
Because then you can walk out of
And
there
then you
with
walk out with it. Yeah. So why don't we take a look at some things here and
Okay.
see what jumps out at you.
But if you're gonna frame something,
You don't.
you want it to be,
I think you want it to be a scene.
yeah, a scene,
or
not kind of like a
thing.
repeat.
Like, for example,
Yes. Oh, this is beautiful.
you know, and have that framed.
Oh, and here they're showing you what it like.
There are the panels.
This is the panel.
This was so lucky that we just happened to be standing here, and it's so beautiful.
All right, so that's helpful. So it's 13 panels make the scene. Okay, but
And
great.
then it's a
This is
different
pretty.
one, which is so pretty. You could do an all-over pattern like this too, if you've fallen madly in love with something. But personally, I prefer more of a scene.
Right, because then it tells a story.
It tells a story.
Yeah, like you wouldn't frame that probably.
You can frame anything, but
This is pretty. I love this.
see,
oh,
if you
Elsie
love
DeWolf.
it, Elsie
Wall
DeWolf.
covering.
We love Elsie
know what?
DeWolf.
Right, America's First Decorator. Do
America's
I have
First
that
Decorator.
correct?
Yes, you do.
I wonder if this is in fabric.
Let's find
don't
out.
know.
Beach Glass. What a great name. I think Laurel said it was in fabric when we walked in.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
This
these are
is
stunning.
drama. That's beautiful. I do like yellow too.
Okay. You love the yellow.
Well, I mean, I like yellow. I think it reminds me of something in my house growing up.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
what.
sweet.
I can't remember.
That's really sweet. That's a big part of
Design.
what we're doing. It's not just making it look beautiful. It's
Okay, so these.
These are to die, and there's gorgeous colorways. I think there's maybe a couple more of them also.
So this is a collaboration with the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Okay,
This is pretty.
and it has yellow in it. Any one of these, I would be thrilled. Look, see, and you frame that. Done.
So then we could do like a grass cloth wallpaper.
and this plopped on top of it, 100%.
So then you layer.
Yes, look how beautiful these are.
Before we knew it, our samples were ready and our day at the D&D was a success.
All right, we have our box of fabrics and our samples, and now the fun begins. But
Bye,
first,
Homeworthy.
lunch.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.